was having a conversation the other day with someone. He told me I needed to take a break, relax a little, live a little. He said, "You've been pushing too hard. You've earned some rest. Even science says chilling out is good for you." And for a second, I almost believed him. I almost nodded and said, "You're right," until I realized something. That guy wasn't a friend, a mentor, or even some random stranger. That guy was me. I was standing there, talking to myself, trying to sell myself on comfort, on slowing down. I was trying to convince myself that it was okay to coast. That's when it hit me. Your biggest battle isn't with the world. It's with the version of you that wants to quit, that whispers, "Just take it easy." That version of you is seductive. It sounds rational. It sounds smart, but it's not. It's fear wrapped up in excuses. Because here's the truth. You don't grow in comfort. You don't level up by taking it easy. You become someone extraordinary by doing the exact opposite of what that voice is telling you. Let me be real with you. If you're looking for comfort, for motivation that feels warm and fuzzy, you're in the wrong place. But if you're tired of feeling stuck, tired of waking up and realizing you've wasted another day, then listen up. Discipline isn't some cute habit or a morning routine hack. It's war. War against every excuse, every distraction, every weakness trying to pull you back into mediocrity. You want to change your life. You need to become obsessed, not with results, but with the grind, with the discipline that nobody sees but makes all the difference. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it. This will be the hardest thing you'll ever do, but you know what? That's why it's worth it. So let me ask you, are you ready to hear what it really takes? Or are you about to click off and run back to the comfort zone? Good. Now let me explain something that most people will never get. Motivation is a joke. It's like a bad friend who only shows up when things are easy. One moment, you're hyped up because you watched an inspiring video. But the next, you're back on the couch scrolling, convincing yourself, "I'll start tomorrow." But guess what? Tomorrow never comes for most people. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't need hype or inspiration. It shows up every single day, whether you're excited, exhausted, or flat out miserable. It's there when you're tired, when you're doubting yourself, when you're staring down failure, and every excuse is screaming at you to quit. You know what makes winners different? They don't sit around waiting to feel like it. They do what needs to be done, period. It's like what David Goggins says, when you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed. That's not motivation talking. It's obsession with discipline. It's waking up every single day and doing the hard things, the boring things, the painful things, because you've made it your identity. And that's the part people miss. It's not about chasing a result. It's about becoming someone who's unshakable. Here's a quote I saw the other day. "The temporary satisfaction of quitting is outweighed by the eternal suffering of being a nobody." Let that sink in. Every time you give in to comfort, you're not just skipping a workout or avoiding a tough conversation. You're training yourself to lose. And here's the brutal truth. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're soft. They start something new, and the second it gets uncomfortable, they fold. Their excuses sound good in their heads. "I'm too tired. I deserve a break. I've already done enough." But you know what those are? Lies. Lies you tell yourself to justify staying average. You think the greats didn't have those same voices in their heads? Of course they did. The difference is, they didn't listen. They didn't negotiate with themselves. While everyone else was hitting snooze or scrolling their feeds, they were working, bleeding, pushing, and grinding because they were obsessed with becoming unstoppable. Here's where most people get it twisted. They think discipline is some kind of punishment, but it's not. Discipline is freedom. When you're disciplined, you're in control. You're not at the mercy of your cravings, your doubts, or your emotions. You're the one calling the shots. The world's trying to sell you comfort. It's trying to tell you that taking it easy is self-care, that sleeping in is self-love. But let me tell you something. Real self-love is showing up for yourself when it's hard. Real self-respect is doing the work when nobody's watching and no one's clapping. Because discipline isn't about getting applause. It's about building a life that can't be shaken by anyone or anything. So, when you feel like giving up, remember this. Pain of discipline is temporary, but the regret of quitting, that stays with you forever. Discipline isn't something you dabble in. You don't just wake up, check a box, and call it a day. You have to become obsessed. I'm talking about making discipline a non-negotiable part of your identity, like breathing. It's not something you do, it's who you are. Think about it. Obsession gets a bad rap. People will call you extreme. They'll say, relax, take it easy, live a little, but look closely. Who's telling you that? The people who are comfortable with mediocrity, the ones who've settled. The truth is, the only way you achieve something extraordinary is by becoming unreasonably obsessed with the process. And guess what? When you become obsessed, you stop needing motivation because you're running on something stronger. Purpose. That's when you start doing the things that others won't, at the times they won't, in ways they never could. You stop looking for validation because you've already proven to yourself that you're different. So, ask yourself right now, what kind of life do you want? Do you want to live a life where your dreams collect dust because you were too afraid to become obsessed? Or do you want to be the kind of person people whisper about? The kind that moves differently because they don't take shortcuts? This is your choice. Most people won't get it, and that's fine. Because obsession with discipline isn't for the masses. It's for the few who refuse to waste their potential. Here's the crazy part. When you truly lock in, something shifts. At first, it feels like a grind, like you're dragging yourself uphill every single day. But then, you hit a point where it becomes second nature, where the things that used to feel impossible are now just part of your routine. Waking up early? That's just what you do. Showing up, rain or shine. Non-negotiable. You stop needing external rewards because the work itself becomes the reward. That's when you realize you're not chasing success, you're building yourself. And here's what no one tells you. Discipline doesn't just change what you achieve, it changes who you are. You walk differently. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence because you know something most people don't. You've paid the price. You've done the hard things, the unseen things, and that makes you dangerous, not in a reckless way, but in a way that says, this person can't be broken. People will notice it too. Some will admire you. Some will resent you, but none of that matters. What matters is that you've become someone who can't be moved by opinions, setbacks, or circumstances. You've built something unshakable. All right, here's where it gets real. You've heard everything you need to hear. Now, it's on you. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you discipline wrapped in a bow. It's a choice, your choice. But here's the truth. Every second you delay, every excuse you make, you're feeding the version of yourself you don't want to be. The weak version, the one who talks, but never walks. So what's it going to be? Another day of telling yourself, maybe tomorrow, or is today the day you break the cycle? No one else can make that decision for you. But if you decide, if you choose to become obsessed with discipline, it'll be the hardest thing you've ever done, and the most rewarding. You'll lose some people, you'll lose comfort, but you'll gain something priceless, self-respect. And when you finally stand at the top of your mountain, looking back at everything you overcame, you'll realize it was never about the goal. It was about the person you became along the way. So get up, get after it, fail big, push through, make discipline your obsession, and watch how the life you've always wanted stops being a dream and starts becoming your reality.